when it comes to most countries, every presidential or prime ministerial candidate, whatever you call it, most countries have an equal chance of having, or each candidate has an equal chance of becoming the president or whatever leader. But in the United States, the Democratic Party and the Republican Party basically have a monopoly on who becomes the candidate. The third parties almost stand no chance, but there is one person who has a chance this time around. The Libertarian Party candidate for President of the United States of America, Gary Johnson. Now, I don't necessarily agree with him on all things, but I agree on him on a few things. He's a libertarian, so he wants to legalize marijuana. In fact, he actually uses marijuana. I agree with that. And of course, there was this one debate where this woman was inaccurately saying that you have a 10% higher chance of having a heart attack or something like that when you use weed or smoke weed, and then Gary Johnson just casually pretends to have a heart attack and he falls over. Now, I remember there was one other interview that he did where, he was talking with his tongue out because he knew that if he said it in a goofy manner, he would be in the news and get publicity. He was right. Now, of course, there was the Aleppo gaffe where he couldn't quite say what Aleppo was. To be fair, you don't really hear Aleppo so much in the news. Believe me, I follow foreign policy really, really closely. You only hear Aleppo a couple times. And the thing is, maybe he didn't sharpen himself up on Syrian history or Syrian geography or whatnot because he's anti-interventionist or anti-interventionism. He wants to stay out of Afghanistan. He wants to get out of Afghanistan. He wants to stay out of the Middle East, pretty much for the most part. When it comes to guns, I'm pretty sure he supports having a gun, the Second Amendment. And when it comes to climate change, this is where he kind of goes downhill for me. He believes in climate change, but he says we shouldn't worry about it. Why? Because in millions or billions of years, the sun will eventually implode or whatever. I'm not explaining it correctly, but eventually the Earth will be destroyed anyways, so why care about climate change? So that's a pretty bizarre way of looking at it. And he says that we need to focus on moving to another planet or colonizing another planet. Sure, I guess, but I want to focus on keeping Earth alive. So for the most part, there was this another thing where Gary Johnson couldn't name a foreign leader. I live in Canada, so a foreign leader to me would be Barack Obama, but he could have just said Justin Trudeau. I mean, come on. Sorry, he had to list a foreign leader that he admired. So the guy, he's pretty good. You can agree with him. He stands a good chance. He's got a good sense of humor, I guess. He's a little goofy. He's a little shy in front of the camera and awkward, but whatever. I mean, the guy is good. He has good intentions. I may not agree with him all the time, but he is correct on a lot of things. The anti-interventionism, legalizing marijuana, all that good stuff. So I highly recommend you do your research and look up Gary Johnson. He is the Libertarian Party candidate for the President of the United States presidency. This has been Riley Flynn Wookie Cookie, and I'll catch you guys next time.